Welcome to video 2 of the AI meets AL series, and in this video we are going to look at the prompt dialog page. So in video 1 we looked at the introduction to AI in AL. So we did a polite introduction to AI in Business Central, how to enable Copilot capabilities, and we looked at some different examples. In our example, we looked at the marketing text suggestion for the items, where we went to the item, one of the items, and we were able to suggest the marketing text. And in this case, what we are looking at is how AI can be used based on the attributes of the item to generate a marketing text. And when we generate the marketing text, we can either use this first tab here to generate the text, okay, or the fact box to generate the marketing text, or we can suggest the marketing text using the Copilot. And definitely it's auto generating us our prompt, which says describe Amsterdam lamp using the attributes here, and then when we generate, we are able to basically get the marketing text. And when we click on generate, we can basically see the dialog populating the specific marketing text for our item, and then it will be displayed here. Then we choose the option. So the first thing is we are having this is the prompt dialog page. Remember, it is the same page that is working here, and the first step is the area where we have the prompting section, where we had our prompt generated. Then we do have the content displayed here in the content mode, okay, the prompt mode being content, and then we can keep this content or decline it or regenerate it. And then we have several options here. We can change the tone, the format, and regenerate it, and or keep it depending on what you want. And let me choose to keep it. And when the page is being closed, then we can be able to see that the information is saved. So the information is not saved earlier, but it's saved after we have chosen, because it's AI generated. And remember, we need to make AI safe for the people to use. And safe AI for everyone is recommended. And for us to be able to, we are going to look at just that page before we can now go to the connections with Azure OpenAI. And in the prompt dialog page, you need to be in runtime 12.1 and above, or runtime 13.0 and above. And let's look at how to create this custom page that has been created for us, a page that enables us to leverage AI capabilities, because it's custom made, safe for AI, allowing us to generate and see the content and keep it or discard it depending on whether we need it, change the tone and the different functionalities. So what is our custom need before we can be able to generate or use the prompt dialog page?
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
So as long as you're in runtime version 13.13 or 12.1 and above, then you can use the prompt dialog page. As usual, the snippet is t-page, and then we get the prompt dialog page, and then we can choose the number that is there, the prompt dialog page. So that is the name of the page. We can still say that this is the prompt dialog page for us. The next step would be now, so there is a prompt mode which specifies the current prompt mode for the prompt dialog page. The default is usually prompt, and we have several options, and which we can be able to change at runtime at the same time. But we do have content for showing the output of the Copilot features. We do have generate, when it's generating the output of the Copilot, Copilot what here? Generating the output of the Copilot interaction, and then we have the prompt generate, and then we have, okay, why is the other one? We have the prompt, okay, we have the prompt content, and then we do have the generate. So the default is the prompt, and this prompt mode, when it's prompt, it's enabling us to key in the prompt that we'd like to. And then we do have now our source table being our prompt dialog page. So our source table, this our prompt dialog page, you can see that I created this page, this table prior to this video, and it just contains, it's a temporary table. The reason why in any prompt, the prompt dialog, first of all, it should not be extensible by default. You can see that it's not even extensible by default. So it shouldn't be extensible. Then the sales table should be temporary, but at the same time, the table that I've used for this, holding this data, is already temporary. And then there's a content, our result, prompt options, prompt guide, and then the prompt that we're going to use. So these are the different options. And by default, when the page is created, okay, it's custom made for us, created with default options that we can really work well for us. Like we do have a layout containing the area of prompt used to gather input for the Copilot interaction, prompt options used to specify settings for the Copilot interactions, and the content that is used to display the content of the page. So these areas are displayed based on the point at which we are in terms of generation of the Copilot interaction. So let's just go to the actions real quick, and then we'll go back there because we have our source table there. Then we do have the system actions. They are used to configure the system action of the page, like the system action of generate, where we say that we are starting the Copilot when it's in prompt mode. Then the generate is okay, when you start Copilot processing, when the dialog is in prompt mode. So this, when it's in prompt mode, when we click on generate, we start the processing. Then we do have other system actions like the attach. This is for us to be able to attach. Maybe we'd like to attach maybe a file, maybe from, okay, definitely using something like upload into stream, something similar to that, and then we can be able to upload our file there, and automatically it will give us a very good icon for attaching, as you can see when we test this feature. And we can even have a message here, attach action has been clicked. Then we do have another system action for cancel or okay, but we don't really need, maybe regenerate, and then we can say that regenerate has been clicked. So these are the three system actions that we want to use today, but we can use others if we want. Then they will be, we don't need, the beauty with this, we don't need to now say that generate now, you need to this icon, regenerate. So at least there'll be uniformity as long as you say that this is the system action that you want to make Copilot really intuitive and interactive, and make sure that the page is not extensible. Another feature that is good is preview should be true most of the time, because most of the time, if we are starting this page and we are testing, then we should state that this is in preview mode, because we are still testing our feature. We are not sure about it, or we are trying to make the reasoning capacity of our model better and better. We are not sure. Maybe we are using GPT 3.5 and we are not sure about the reasoning capability. We'd like to go maybe to GPT 4.0 or something. So we are still in preview mode with our feature. So remember, we say that AI is like your smart colleague that is basically giving you instruction. Your smart colleague is there telling you, oh, my friend Msangi, I'd like, okay, it's I giving me instructions to the smart colleague. So I'm there telling my smart colleague, hey guy, please help me do this and that and that and that. So my smart colleague expects, smart people love clarity. So AI loves clarity. we need to know the kind of information that we are seeking from AI. Like when we look at the marketing text suggestion, we're giving it a lot of information in form of the attributes, and then we are telling the model to describe the item based on those attributes. And behind the scenes, we have the system text, we have a lot of instructions that we have given it for it to be able to give us an accurate value. So in our prompt section, this is where we do have our prompt. So the field that we need, so I'm using the prompt should be our field, and it's text of 100, and it's populating for me that it's multi-line, and then show caption is false, so that we don't have a caption for the field. It will just be the prompt there, and then we can have an instruction text. This is similar to when it's like a placeholder for you that can be changed over time. So remember, this table doesn't have values by default. It's a temporary table. We can say that on open of the page, we do maybe if the rec, if not if not rec.get, and then we init and insert. All right, so we do have now the open page well specified. Now let's move to the generate. Okay, we are here at the prompt area of the prompt, where we are trying to say enter your prompt here. Maybe this is where we are keying in our message. Maybe let's say we can even have an example, e.g., give me all items that are not sold, maybe. Okay, whatever, something like that. So this is just a test, and we are not even connecting to Azure, but this is an example of a prompt. It can contain all fields or all field types. It can contain all let me say object types. You can have a field here, a group, I don't know, and all that, a page part, except a repeater control. A repeater control is what is not allowed in this area of prompt. Then let's move swiftly to the prompt options, and this will be the fields that will be having our options. They should be either enums or option types that enable us to guide the prompt, and giving the user an ability to choose maybe the tone. It's like choosing what level, or how do we want, okay, how does the user want the result to be. So from our prompt options, okay, this is an enum of entity text actions. We can add another one. So that's an enum. We don't need to repeat this because it's there. Then we do have I don't know what failed. Let me say prompt guide. I hope this is also an enum. For the tone, you can say that the caption is a tone of the prompt, and then the option. So as a caption, this is where the user, we want to give the user the ability to choose how they want their prompt to be. Then we have now the content. This is where now we have our output for the prompt, the content. From the prompt, we do have our result that is there. Mostly you can make it editable or not. It's variable depending on what you feel like. And then we can say that the caption is we don't want the caption to be shown. and so our content will be here. So let's just do something small. When we generate, let's try and get some value. Let's add some greatness in generation. So the first thing that we'll do is sleep it for like 10,000 milliseconds. I don't know how many seconds that is, because we are not sending any request to Copilot, and then so that you can be able to see the result. Then now the content will be a generation of how will I say it? I'll say that it will be the prompt. Let's do something to the prompt. The prompt, then we add some random text like format, okay, or whichever. We can just have it as the prompt. We just get whatever whatever prompt is there, and then we set it as a content, and then we can say that enabled is when, I don't know if this one will work, the prompt is not equal to blank. So if the prompt is not equal to blank, at least there is the value, then this generate is enabled. Then the content is there, we're just populating it. We can randomize it or something. Let's make it simple. The concept is more important at this stage. Then now we have a system action attached. Regenerate. If we want to regenerate, we can run this. We can put this in a method and regenerate. Generate method. We can basically set it to a method to make it more beautiful, and we create a procedure that will be sort of just repeated on regenerate. Just say generate, then which will do the same, and then the attach and all that. Yeah, and then we're done. It's just as simple as that. But now the most important, another important thing that we need to do, how do we now get, in the scenario now that we have this content appended into our area of content, we have the information. So when we click on keep it instead of discard, when you discard, then it's ended. So what happens when you click on keep it? So there's a method in the system. So it's known as onquery close page. So onquery close page is a trigger that runs. It's a page trigger that runs when a page closes, and before the on close page trigger is executed. So before the page is closed, so we are saying that we are looking at the close action. So if the close action is not okay or lookup okay, so these are the actions that are saying that we are sort of saying that how do I, so the user represent the result of the user closing the page by performing clicking OK. And this one they're saying is when they are closing via a lookup. It's like you are accepting rather than the cancel. So if it's not either the closed action OK or the closed action lookup OK, then we exit the page. Got me? So if we want now that there's a place where we clicked on keep it or discard it. So we are looking at that place. Have we clicked on keep it? So we are looking at that. If we click on keep it, then we are moving to this. If it's discard, then it's a different story. And this is where now we will do our processing. our processing, our saving. Our saving logic goes here, but our processing logic is here in the generate method. Yeah, so I think that's it. So it's time to test. Time to test. So the prompt dialog page will be the default page that will be opened when we run our application. All right, so our instructional text is here. Enter the prompt, e.g., give me all items that are not sold. So we can just, so you can see that when we don't have a value, it's enabled, but it is not detecting space. Even space is assumed that give me all items that are not sold in the last year. And you can see that the fact that we said is preview, our beautiful page is displaying in preview mode. And so this is the prompt mode. We are in the prompt mode. No wonder we are seeing the prompt. The prompt area is displayed to us, and this is the content that we said. So when you click on generate, we are having that sleep part that we said, and it's working for us. It's giving us the 10,000 milliseconds. It's simulating that we are doing something, and we have definitely now used the same information. We can see that this button has changed to keep it rather than whatever we had, and we can choose to regenerate, which is changing the dialog of generation. We can still see part of whatever we had here and regenerating it, and it's now giving us that information, or discard. This is by default. So this regenerate, we have to specify discard is by default. Then we have the option that we said, it's either create or edit. Then we do have the tone. Is it casual? Is it inspiring, upbeat, creative? So these are options. You can have as many as you want, and you choose the caption that will be displayed in this page in a very beautiful view. So you choose whichever option that you want. It's either an enum or an option string for the prompt options for whatever result that you want, and then you can be able to choose. Now if you say keep it, the logic now to move this information to the system or to store it now, because the user is choosing to keep the information, because AI generated content may be incorrect, there could be hallucinations, and since the user has is given the choice to choose or reject, accept or reject the solution that AI has given, or maybe also edit, and then they can keep it. And that's the conclusion for our prompt dialog page. And we now go deeper into configuring Azure OpenAI to enable us now set the keys before we can be able to customize or create our custom functionality for AI meets AL. So thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.